right, we're on. We're on. Hey, my love.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good. I'm so excited that you took the time to be here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And guys, everybody who's coming on, I just want to introduce you to one of my great friends. This is Nilisa Council, and she is with Love Makes Me Grow. And so we're
Thank
going to
you.
talk about Love Makes Me Grow, an amazing nonprofit here in Osceola County that is branching out into all of Central Florida and plus, plus, plus. So, Nilisa, let's get
Yes,
started.
thank you.
So let's start from the beginning. So, Love Makes You Grow. We'll talk all about the organization, but you are a mom.
Yes, I am.
So yeah. So how many kids?
I have eight. I have eight children from the ages of 33 all the way down to 10 years old.
Wow, wow. You know
Mhm.
what? But I see that for you because you're such like a loving person with such a big heart. I could see you being able to do that. I could never do that, girl, ever. Ugh.
Well, I've had situations in my life where children and elderly have always been my passion, and I always need to help in whichever way. So when certain situations happened with family
Mhm.
members, I did not want those children to miss a step or,
Wow.
go through anything. And because of that, where you feed one, I can feed five. You know what I'm saying? So where
Wow.
you can spread one cup of rice, I can feed a lot of people with that one cup of rice. So
Wow.
having faith in the Lord, I
Hmm.
said we can do this. So we're not going to eat lobster every day, and we're not going to eat
Right.
filet mignon, but we will have what we need. And with God's grace and favor, we're going to be okay. And you know
Yeah.
what, Sasha, I got them all graduated. Nobody was, and
Wow.
I wasn't on the front page of the newspaper for killing one of them. And
Yeah, exactly.
and
Wow.
no babies came out of that home.
Girl,
Everybody did
stop
that
it.
away from there. So to me, I
Wow.
was truly blessed. And when we think that we can't do something, it's putting our faith into a higher power
Hmm.
and knowing
Hmm.
that we can.
We
Sometimes
can.
just
We
that
can.
simple voice of, hey, you could do it.
Come
And you'd be
on.
surprised
Come
if
on. You're
by
so
telling
strong,
somebody
man.
that.
Seriously.
Exactly.
So
So
what?
I
Oh, go ahead. I'm so
so
excited to
I,
talk to
I've
you.
had a number of times where I've looked at people and made sure that they knew you have the strength inside of you.
Mm,
Talk to God, make sure that you have yourself and a plan in order, and you can help anybody. So
for
I
sure.
raised them. They came out amazing human beings and
Amazing.
adults of women and men that take care of their own families today, and
Wow.
they love me, so I get bonus right there after they're all grown up,
Of
you know?
course, of course. Wow, how beautiful. And so it's like you've always had this, it seems like you've always been born with this strong sense of self and strength. And so like how where did that come from?
That came from a combination of amazing women and
Mm,
men in my family. All the men are military based, and that that way of thinking of very disciplined. And then the women were the, I would call it the hustler in their own way, but
yeah.
they were the head of the household. So there
Hmm.
was no excuse. You're a mom,
Wow.
you got to be a mom, and you have to be a lady at the same time. So being raised with my mom, my grandmother, and my godmother,
Hmm.
these are three different characters that I have a little bit of each one of them. And it's amazing
Yeah,
because I was always called Mother Teresa as I was very young,
I could
because
see
I
that.
always found myself taking the shirt off of myself to give it to
Mm,
the
I
next
could see that.
person.
I could see
So
that.
my godmother ran on several boards, and she, before her passing last year, she was
I'm
actually
sorry.
on the Democratic Polk County board,
Hmm.
and always found it within herself to help the community. So from the
Wow.
age of 6, I was feeding the homeless,
Wow.
and my grandmother would cook big what we call calderos, big
Mhm,
pots of rice and meat inside of it, locrio,
mhm,
which was
mhm.
rice and meat together, and we would go downstairs because we lived on 178th in Manhattan in New York,
Mhm.
where it's where the bus terminal is. So a lot of homeless
Oh,
people would hang out
wow.
by the bus terminal. So my
Yeah.
grandmother just took it upon herself to say, we got to feed the people. Like, we got to go downstairs. We bought plastic plates down. I was 6 years
I
old,
love her.
and it was a love, because I knew Mary, the homeless lady. I knew
Mhm.
John, the homeless man.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised, like, they used to see my grandmother coming from the supermarket with shopping bags, and they would all come running to help her because they
Wow.
appreciated her feeding them,
Yeah.
and
And
they always
respected
looked
her.
out for me.
Yeah.
So when you have that type of upbringing by
Mm,
women that are around you that won't let the next person fall down because it's about uplifting everyone,
yeah.
then you have to continue that. I
Yeah.
also have an aunt who's in the healthcare field, who me and her were raised as sisters, and she's like a walking angel,
Wow.
literally helping everyone wherever she goes in life. So when you're raised around people that this is such a strong sense of you being this person,
Hmm.
you don't got a choice,
No.
Sasha. You got
No.
to get up and help every day. You start hearing things in your head. You need to help the
Yeah.
people, help the people.
It's like that noise, that silent, steady noise,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. So
Wow.
I constantly stick myself in places that I can help the people at all times.
Man. So is that how Love Makes Me Grow got, developed and founded? Was it through that?
I can tell you that it would have a little bit to do with it because I'm so used to and giving to the people, but
Yeah.
the true way that Love Makes Me Grow started was because I am a mentor and a book
Hmm.
buddy for the Osceola Schools District.
Okay.
And I have third graders that had just came in 2018, 2019. We had the storms of Irma and Maria. And
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I had already been book buddying and helping a lot of children that came from Venezuela and Puerto Rico that
Hmm.
didn't speak any English, but were coming in at a time where it was only 2 months away from the FSA testing in the
Wow.
state.
And this is
So
that.
it so because of that, it was
Hmm.
like a really strong thing for me to help as many as I can, because
Hmm.
just because they weren't proficient in speaking the English language didn't mean that they didn't know the work. They just
Exactly.
didn't know
Exactly.
the language. You understand?
Exactly.
So I took it upon myself to take on as many children as I can, mentor.
Hmm.
And in doing that, um, I was able, I'm sorry, I
Oh, I
was
can hear you.
able
You're fine.
to speak to a lot of the children. In
Hmm.
speaking to the children, and doing the book buddies, I had a moment with a child who they got really frustrated. And I was like, okay, we're going to take a break. And
Hmm.
I brought out some oranges out of a bag. And just to get their mind off of what they were doing and how frustrated they were, I
Right.
turned around and I said, okay, where does this grow? And the child looked at me, and like for a minute, they were like really confused. And I said, do you know where it grows? And she said, Walmart. And I said,
Oh
ooh,
gosh.
no, baby, look at it again
Hmm.
and tell me where it grows.
Hmm.
And tell me where it grows.
Yeah.
And she said, and that's when she said, okay, I'm sorry, Target. And I said,
Wow.
oh, okay, no, that's
Mm.
so then if that's what sparked the curiosity to me to ask all of my children,
Hmm.
which were nine of them,
That you
that,
were helping.
where did something grow?
Hmm.
Well, out of all nine children, only one was able to answer me. And the person that answered me was not from here. They
Wow.
were actually from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And they knew where it grew because over there it's mandatory. And in
Hmm.
Venezuela, it's mandatory that,
Right.
that the children know about,
Agriculture.
where things grow,
Hmm.
and where things come from.
Hmm.
So when in speaking to this one child, he gave me history of what their parents grow, what their grandparents grow,
What?
what they had everywhere, and how they had to go every single morning and pick crop, and God forbid they pick things that were not ripe in order to
Mhm.
do so. Like they
Mhm.
would literally get in trouble. So it made
Wow.
me start going when I went to the supermarket. It made me start going and looking at the children and people as they were buying food in vegetables.
Mhm.
Well, I come to realize nobody picks something up to smell it. Nobody squeezes it to see if it's ripe enough. They just
Mhm.
pick something, take it, and leave. And it was like, wow, there's no sense of them knowing anything. Okay. So now Irma and Maria have come upon us. And
Mhm.
now we're in a disarray in our state because the trucks couldn't get down to bring us water.
Mhm.
192 neighborhood Walmart had nothing inside of it.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm looking around and I asked the manager, I said, hey, Bob, when is the next shipment of water and everything getting here? There weren't even beets on the
Wow.
shelf of the vegetables. For you not to see beets is something
Something
huge.
wrong.
Okay.
That's the one nobody really wants.
Exactly. So he tells me, well, Lisa, it might get here Thursday, but depending on the weather and depending on the situation, we might not get nothing for 2 weeks, which in fact is exactly what happened.
Wow.
We weren't able to get any vegetation for 2 weeks. And I
Wow.
said, wow. I
And this
went
is
home
during Irma.
so depressed
Mhm.
that I was like, literally, we can die in this state. And we're dependent of everyone else in order to even eat.
Mm.
So my son's father looked at me and said, well, why don't we just grow the avocado tree?
Hmm.
And I said, I had bought an avocado and I
Mhm.
had the seed of it. And he said, well, why don't we just grow it? And then you know what? We'll never be without. And I said, oh my goodness, can you grow this seed? And he said, of course we can. Now, my husband's family has farms in Dominican Republic. They
Mhm.
have every tree possible, from
Yeah.
guayaba to mangoes to avocados to everything.
Wow.
So I said, well, how can you grow this here? Because we don't have everything that's over there. He says, yes, there is. All it takes is real love.
Mm-mm.
Real love. That's all it takes.
Wow. I love that
He
so
put
much.
4 sticks around the seed, placed it in a cup above water. 8 days later, I see a sprout this big come out of there.
Wow.
3 weeks later, it's already about I would say about 12 inches tall.
Mm-mm.
I
Wow.
said, wow, you can do this with anything. So then that's what made me turn around and say, you know what? We can't lose that. If we lose telling our children where things grow from and the fact that they can do it themselves too,
Mhm.
if they do not have that in their head, then we're gypping them. We're
Yeah,
actually
definitely. Doing them a
depriving them
disservice. Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
of a beautiful service. And the beautifulest thing is that I've encountered with this since I started this is to see a child take a picture of something that they helped to grow.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's something amazing.
Yeah.
So we've been so blessed that even going through the pandemic, I kind of felt a little bit crazy at that point because I had just opened up the organization. And
Mhm.
then I thought that like the bad jujus of the world were trying to stop me from being opening this nonprofit organization.
Right.
So the funny thing about that is that I took a census job in
Mhm.
order for me to get the seeds out.
Wow.
So I was able to knock on over 8,000 doors. You'd be surprised how many people gave me their information because I gave them seeds. It was like a fair
Wow.
trade right there.
Smart. So smart.
But the the beauty of that was that I also heard a lot of people's issues in the community.
Mhm.
I heard the hunger that is going on, the homes that lost jobs, the
Mm.
situations that are upside down.
Mhm.
They thought most people thought that I was the marshal coming to padlock them out because of
Wow.
rental situations. So when they see this government person come to the door with a badge on them, At no point are they thinking census. They're
No.
thinking they're coming to evict me.
Right.
So
Right.
immediately I saw people crying and going through things. So that's what helped me to understand
Wow.
that this is super necessary in places that are going through serious hardship. I'm in an
Yeah.
area that's called Poinciana. It is still considered county of
Mhm.
Osceola, city of
Mhm.
Kissimmee.
Mhm.
But since we're so far out on the far out part of the line, some people in our world would call this the boonies
Yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
far out.
Yeah.
We're not the boonies. We're still right here. We're present.
Mhm.
And I would like, and what I'm looking to do is to not only feed our people, because it's great to give somebody a box of food.
Yeah.
I want to teach them how to grow their own food, how to
Beautiful.
be responsible for growing their own. And if I can
Beautiful.
supplement that with an extra box of USDA, then amen. But I
Yes.
don't want to
It's
just
all worth
feed
it.
people. I don't want to just give them a box of food like all the
Mhm.
other pantries do.
I love that. I love
So right now, we have been so blessed that we are in the middle of talks with the Board of Education,
that.
and they're going to
Wow.
allow us to open a community garden at the Deerwood
Yay!
Elementary School and a
Yay!
food
Congrats to
pantry.
you guys.
And because we have done great things, Sasha, you and I have
Wow.
done great things in this community and we have worked hard.
Yes. Yes.
Council for Aging even wants to come in to help us, these
Yes.
leaders that we're in the community, and they want to help us.
I love that. I love
So,
that.
Dr. Pace and her team from the Board of Education, Randy Shatira, oh my God, amazing people,
Wow.
and
What a
they want to
blessing.
help us, and we want to help ourselves.
Yes.
We
Absolutely.
want to be self sustainable, self
Yes.
reliable.
Sufficient.
We
Yes.
want to be able to help the world. We want to be able to come to our elderly and
Yes.
bring them what we need so
Yes.
then they don't have to worry about not eating on certain nights because
Mm-mm.
their income is limited to what they
Yeah.
can.
That should not be a
Sasha, our
problem.
food has gone up 5%. We have over 395 farms throughout the United States that have went into bankruptcy and closed.
Wow.
Right now, you go to several different restaurants, you go to several different places, and they don't have their regular menu at all. They have what they have, and they've
Mm.
changed their menus because of what they don't have.
Mm. Yeah. That's
Nobody's
tough,
wondering
man.
why.
That's tough. That's a
And
problem.
when you have to wonder where you're going to, if the supermarket doesn't have food, and you're not growing your own tomatoes, you're not growing your own lettuce, you're not growing your own stuff, will you feel good at night knowing that your child's belly is rumbling?
Mm-mm.
Is there any way that
No
any
way.
parent, any guardian, anybody that is caring for someone other than yourself to be so positively sure that we're going to have food in every single supermarket at all times
Wow. There's no
under
way.
hurricanes? We live in a state that's 9 months of hurricane season. Most states, New York State has 9 months of freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
We have 9 months of red light, green light, one, two, three when you come out your house.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that we're going to be able to feed our families and feed ourselves, and as well as give the knowledge to our children of how
Mm-hmm.
important it is for us to eat healthier and for us to be
Exactly.
able to grow our own?
Wow. So true. So true. How can the community help?
I would love to see everybody come out to participate, volunteer. If they have nothing to do during the day, come in and be a volunteer for us.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a call at our at our Gmail. Give us an email to our Gmail,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we would be able to bring them in. We're looking for people that want to help the community. We're looking
Mm-hmm.
for funding. We're looking
Yeah.
for space, if there's space available that people want more community gardens.
Yeah.
um we want to be able to see more than just one community garden go up.
Yeah.
So if people look at something called Red Hook, It's
Mm-hmm.
a farm in Brooklyn, okay? That
Mm-hmm.
farm, it has an acre of land, okay? And it gives out 7,600 boxes of vegetables every month. You're talking about a state that
Wow.
only has 2 months of really good warm weather.
Wow. And
We
they still
have
able to do
all
stuff.
year,
Mm-hmm.
practically 11 months of
We
good
should be doing
weather.
better.
How could we not come up with double that
Mhm.
amount? So,
Yeah.
yes, if I could find the way of building a piece of land that we can have a building to be able to do the classes.
Mm-hmm.
One thing is for you to give somebody a seed. Another thing is for you to give them the instruction and the
Yeah.
education on how to grow that. That's
Exactly.
truly teaching somebody how to fish.
Yeah.
And that's what we
Definitely.
want to do.
Definitely. Gosh, this has been so good, Nilisa. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. We're
Thank
going
you
to make
for
sure to
having
share
me.
this everywhere. So we want lots of people to know about what you guys are doing and for folks to come out to support, to help you guys. Thank you again for taking the time. This has been so awesome.
Thank you so much. And anybody that wants to help, we are a 501c3 approved organization.
Mhm.
All donations are tax write-offs, so they would not have to worry about that. And
Awesome.
we are so grateful for the love, attention. Thank you, Sasha, for having us today. You're an
Definitely.
amazing woman. We're so
Oh,
proud
you're
of
more
you.
amazing. Stop it.
And anything
You are
that
in
we
my
can
heart. I
do
love you.
to bring the community together, we're working with a lot of different people. And depending on the person's situation, reach out to us because we're connected one way or another.
Yeah.
We're working with Kissimmee Main Street. We're working with a number of different organizations and also small
Good to know.
businesses that are willing to help people and they want
Awesome.
to, be there for them. So
Thank you.
reach out to us and be surprised what we can help with.
Awesome. Great. Well, we'll definitely be in touch and we're going to connect soon again, Nilisa.
Thank you.
Nilisa Council, thank you so much. Love you, girl. And we'll do this
Thank you
again
so
soon,
much.
okay?
Thank you.